So, one more for today. Hopefully this will be the last one. This is something I had been thinking about for a while, and I think I'd gotten the idea to some extent from a short story of Isaac Asimov called The Hostess. It's worth a listen to if you ever get a chance. But there's kind of a thing in the Bible, kind of a conflict over the literalness or the symbolic interpretation of Genesis. And a part of this is the interpretation of the numbers and the genealogies with regards to the patriarchs, right? There's a pretty long genealogy there telling who begat who and when it happened and such and such. But the idea is maybe with regards to the numbers involved, the age of the people involved, is it literal or is it symbolic? So let's take what we consider to be a normal age these days, 70 years of age, right? These days, your odds of living to 70 years old, it's something like 43%. That may be a worldwide average, so it might be a little bit goofy there, but we'll take that as a running number. 43% chance of one person living to 70 years of age. And there's 8 patriarchs involved in the genealogy there. We're probably going to eliminate Enoch because he died. Well, he didn't die. He was not. I believe the idea was he was translated that he should not see death. God did that for him at 170 years old. Excuse me. So we'll take 7 patriarchs in succession, right? None of whom died what we would call like premature deaths, right? I believe we'll say that the average was something like 100 or 840 years per patriarch. That's kind of the average. I think some of them lived longer than that. Some of them would have theoretically lived shorter than that, according to the numbers, if we take it literally. So, what are the odds of a person, one individual, in today's world, living to 840 years of age? In theory, I think it would be something like 3.5% in today's world with all of the advancements we have, right? Now, bearing in mind that back then they were living in a hunter-gatherer society, right? God cursed the ground for their sake. It would bring forth thorns and whatnot. It would be in any case, it would be very hard for life or for them to get food, and they would have to work harder for it after that, right? So there's a very real possibility of starvation or dying trying to hunt some dangerous animal or something like that, right? Also, a pre-medical society, so perhaps a possibility of death from disease or pestilence or something like that. In addition, they lived in a very immoral society. That's made pretty clear. Kind of Noah was the only good guy around during his time. So very real possibility of murder or war or revenge killings or something like that as well. So a lot of ways to die. Maybe a generous interpretation or a liberal estimation would be something like, let's say 3% chance for one individual to live to 840 years of age at that point in time. So what are the odds then of 7 individuals? Remember, we're eliminating Enoch because, whatever. What are the odds of 7 individuals in succession all living out normal life cycles, i.e. 840 years of age, with no premature deaths? I could be wrong here. Math is not my thing. I might tag IP in this because this feels like his type of thing. Math is not my thing. It hurts my head. But it feels like the odds of that occurring are infinitesimal. They're like borderline functionally zero. So it feels like it was either entirely miraculous that this occurred, or it was the numbers involved are symbolic. I would tend to lean towards symbolic. I think also one of the guys, Lamech, I believe, died serendipitously at 777 years of age, which I tend not to lean too much into the symbolicness of numbers in the Bible, and it feels like a rabbit hole that's better not to get down, but it feels like that particular number is pretty significant in Jewish culture or whatever. So again, I would tend to lean towards the numbers involved being symbolic. With regards to the rest of Genesis, I don't know, and I don't necessarily care about the literalness or non-literalness of it. I do tend to think that the people who write the curriculums these days, put it this way, I think if you ask the people who actually know what they're talking about with regards to science, they'll use words like plausible or probable or possible. And I would get the idea that the school curriculums would teach it in a far more superlative sense of it, where they present it in very like, this is how it is, this is how it always will be, and anyone who questions this, even a little bit, is too stupid to know enough to come out of the ring. So I feel like the people who write the curriculums are acting far more certain than they have any right to be. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please press the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to.